Alright, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Christmas Eve, Sunday, 2023. I hope everyone is doing wonderful. This is just a quick video, probably won't be quick knowing me, just to give thanks to everybody who's helped supported Mr. Mean Speaks over the last couple of years. We have had an amazing year. We've seen a lot of growth. We've seen a lot of indie publishers join the channel. We've seen just a ton of amazing stuff. And I really want to just give time and a minute to thank everybody who has helped supported the channel. From my amazing Patreons to the Mr. Mean Speaks community to Drive Through RPG for supporting the channel and allowing me to post video reviews. No other YouTuber gets to do that. As far as I know, I'm the only one, so that's amazing. I need to be more active on Drive Through RPG and post my video reviews there as well as Miniature Market. I'm trying to do an affiliate with Miniature Market so that I can start doing miniature reviews and save you guys 10% and put a little money in my pocket, which I think would be awesome. So, what else is going on? First of all, I want to take a minute to thank all of the amazing indie publishers that have helped the channel and supported the channel over the last couple of years. These are in no particular order. They're just the ones that came off the top of my head. So first and foremost, Stephen Turner and Mr. Crowley over at Chivalry and Sorcery. We just did an unboxing where they sent me a bunch of cool goodies that I didn't already own. So thank you so much for that. The guys over at 5e Publishing, they make What's Old is New. It's one of my favorite D6 games. For all you guys that think I hate D6s, I don't. I just like certain mechanics and certain mechanics I don't like. So What's Old is New, fantastic game if you haven't checked it out. It's a generic game. You can play modern, sci-fi or fantasy or any mix thereof. It's a great rule system. My friends over at Indie, It's Never Dark Enough, the makers of Shattered. What an awesome RPG. If you haven't checked it out, please go on Drive Through RPG and check it out. Shattered by Indie Press. And Indie stands for It's Never Dark Enough. Great crew of guys over there. I haven't touched base with them in quite a while, but they did a successful Kickstarter, and it's an amazing, beautiful book. The art is phenomenal in there. Here's a free one. This one don't cost you anything. All you got to do is go download it. Heroes of Adventure by the Nameless Designer. I found this a couple of weeks ago. I think Inalore or Brian Isakoff. I'm not quite sure who turned the channel onto it, but we've played a couple games. We've really enjoyed it. It's kind of an OSR D&D clone, but you get to roll a bunch of dice. Your characters feel impactful, but the rules aren't so bogged down. Doesn't appear to break down at higher level play. We're really enjoying it. We need to play some more. We haven't, but we will. Brandon Verhalen, Saints and Sinners, coming to Savage Worlds. It's already in Tiny D6 system. He had a successful Kickstarter. Brandon's been a strong supporter of the channel. He's in the Discord, so if you want to talk to him, you have questions about Saints and Sinners and what other rule systems it might be coming to, he's there. You can shoot him a message. My good friend David McLeese, aka the maker of, I shouldn't say aka, the maker of Project Sunflower. Want to talk about a cool game. If you like the video game The Last of Us, let's talk about an apocalyptic world that's not all zombies and crazy shit. Well, there's still crazy shit in Project Sunflower, but it's more organic. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to spoil anything. The game isn't out yet, but it's getting ready to go to. He's going to publish it through Drive Through RPG, and it's looking phenomenal. I've been part of the. I don't want to necessarily say play test, but I've been a part of the review process of the game and giving feedback and stuff. And David has done all of the cool art. And what a neat little trivia piece. If you look at some of the art, you may find the Mr. Mean logo hidden in there somewhere. So a huge shout out to David for doing something super cool like that. Russ Rollins, aka Salty. He had a successful Kickstarter earlier this year called New Edo. I don't want to say it's dystopian cyberpunk because it's not, but it is a very unique setting in Japan, basically, and it's where your reality is what you make it. Dreams come true. There's Neon Samurai, there's Kira Motorcycles, there's Oni, there's Yosagi Yojimbo, there's all kinds of stuff that makes this a very unique and a very, very different RPG than you've played with. It uses a bunch of dice. It's very cool. Go check it out. New Edo. Lone Wolf Fist, Joel Clark. I was sent a copy of this. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, so I don't know much about it, but it was nice of him to send a copy. And he's an indie publisher, and part of what my channel does, for those that don't know, is I spotlight indie publishers, people that put in blood, sweat, and tears to make a game that they want to see out there and see people play it. It takes a lot of work to make a role-playing game or publish a book of any kind, whether it's a fictional book or nonfiction. It takes so much work and so much effort, and you guys that are not a part of that industry have no idea how much work goes into it. So when a publisher or self-published publisher is asking for $10 for his game, and you look at the preview and you kind of like it, give them the $10. Help, you're putting food on their table. And 99% of these guys are all small publishers. In fact, all of these guys are small publishers. Chivalry and Sorcery might be the biggest name on here, but they're a small publisher as well. They're a very small crew. Stephen Turner and Andy Staples, you know, and Mr. Crowley, they're all, you know, they all have day jobs. This is just their passion that they do. So yeah, another favorite of the channel and big supporter, Low Life 2099 and Low Fantasy Gaming by Steve Gradzicki. He's an Australian. He's probably one of the best looking men I've ever met. I've only met him virtually, but guy just looks like he stepped off the cover of GQ, and his wife is gorgeous too. I hate him for that, but damn does he make cool games. The Low Fantasy Gaming line is amazing. He's got complete adventures. Adventurers Framework is, I think he's got 1, 2, and possibly 3. Probably some of the best generic adventure. Now, obviously, they're made for low fantasy gaming, but you can use them in any fantasy setting. They're just very well written, wonderful adventures. And then, of course, I will say, I got to be a little biased here, and I got to say, this one's probably my favorite. It's Mr. Jay Lasarde of Feral Games, Inc. Jay was an early supporter of the channel. I think he's sent me a copy of every game he's made, for the most part, that's in a physical product. It started with, what was the game? Zombie Squad, I believe it was. And I did a review of it. I think he sent me a free copy, or I bought it off of DriveThruRPG. I think he sent me a copy. Just to review, you know, because I'm a small indie channel, you know, I support indie games. So I did a review of it, and he showed it to a couple of his friends that are in the industry that help him with his games and stuff. And I think the remark I saw was, yeah, this guy gets it, meaning me. And we became staunch friends. I've never met Jay. I've only met him virtually, you know, through a video chat. But he's been such a strong supporter of the channel. Jay, I love you, brother. I kind of like your cats. Everybody knows I hate cats, so they're an alternate food source in my opinion. But Jay's cats are kind of cool because they never interfere with the video when we're recording. So that's the only reason they get a pass in my book. Every other cat's fair game though, but Jay's cats, I'll cut them some slack. His lovely wife, Jay is the epitome of an indie publisher. He makes small games. He just churns them out. Adventures in Crag Baron. He's got so many. Blood Iron is probably my favorite dark fantasy game. If you think Warhammer is dark, if you think Zweihander is dark, or what is it, Blackbirds, you think any of those games are dark, those games are a church, compared to Blood Iron. The game is just beyond dark, but it's not so dark that there's no hope. There, of course, for it to be a successful game, and there has to be hope, right? There has to be some light at the end of the tunnel, and it may be a very dim light, but there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel. And on top of that, we're getting a new percentile version of Blood Iron. Right now, Blood Iron is in D&D 5th edition and its own D6 proprietary system, and I actually like the D6 system, but he's re-editing it and he's redoing it for 2024, and hopefully we'll see it as a Kickstarter, or maybe it'll just come out. I hope Jay will consider keeping me in the process and letting me help review it and stuff like that. I'm sure he will. It's a phenomenal setting, and if you like really dark settings, Blood Iron is the setting for you, but it's going to get a nice percentile system, so I'm very happy and excited to see it. So those are just some of the people that I wanted to give a shout out to and say, you know, if you got your hobby dollars for 2024, maybe throw these guys a couple of them, because they make phenomenal games. And I'm sure there's a bunch I missed. There's a ton of people that support the channel, and I unfortunately just can't think of them right now. I'm a horrible person. Let me see if I can pop open my Discord and see if I can see a couple people here that I know there's a couple. I'm thinking of one or two that are coming to mind right off the top of my head. Miguel from the Red Room. They make alternative RPGs that are, shall we say, not the politically correct version of RPGs. He takes a lot of tropes and he turns them on their ears, and he makes some cool stuff. And I reviewed a couple of his things. He just sent me a download of all his current stuff, so I'm working on doing a review of those. So that'll be coming soon. I'm trying to think. Who else? Oh, here we go. Goblin Scribe. Goblin Scribe is, he makes some stuff for low fantasy gaming. His Adventurer's Toolkit, I believe it is. And it's amazing. He is also working on another like giant mecha game, which is going to be super cool. I don't believe we have a name for it yet. Let's see, I'm trying to think if he gives me a name here. He doesn't, but he stays in touch with me, and he's just been phenomenal. I'm trying to see, he just sent me a link, so I'm trying to see if this goes to his. Yeah, Low Fantasy Gaming Class Toolkit by Goblin Scribe. This is amazing, and here's the thing, it's not just for low fantasy gaming. You can use this in any fantasy game. You could use it in Blood Iron, you could use it in Warhammer. It's just a cool book. In fact, my physical copy is on its way. Should hopefully be here next week or the week after with Christmas. I know it's kind of crazy. So, gosh, there's just so many guys. I don't, this video would be hours long if I tried to give everybody thanks. So I know I might have missed a couple of you, but know that you're in my hearts. And, you know, if you haven't joined the Mr. Mean Speaks Discord, please, there's a link down the doobly-doo. I read all the comments on YouTube, so if it doesn't work, just shoot me a message on YouTube, make a note down there, and I will refresh it. So it should work, though. I set it to never expire. Like I said, we have an awesome community. We're about 200 strong at any given time, more like maybe 60 or 70 people online at any given time, but we have over, I think, right at 200 members. Great community. If you're a budding game designer and you have questions, we have a section in there where you can ask questions, and other publishers will access it and read it. It's a great community. We have, I'm big on miniature games, as some of you know, so there's The Art is the Mini. We have all these different channels. Mean Tech, PC and consoles, because I play a couple console games and stuff, and people wanted a place to talk about that. To Find a Game is our game finder. You know, if you want to run a game, there's a format. Go up to the pins, look at the format, and just copy that, and then you can run games on the channel. I wholly support that, because you got to join the channel to run games, so that's always awesome. So Publisher announcements. It's a great place. Buy, sell, and trade. It's a place to sell your used games, your used miniatures, console games, whatever. Help Pub is the one where it's help from publishers, and that's where some of these indie game designers who have a little more experience than maybe you do can help you and point you in the right direction. So, and then we have my YouTube channel, which is just a place where I also post all of these YouTube videos as they go up. So enough babbling. Guys, I can't say it's been a wonderful year. I'm in my new house. This is my dungeon. It's awesome. I love it. You can see I got all my library books up, and believe it or not, I have more books. I just don't have enough shelf space, so be rectifying that soon. But that's as high as I wanted to go with the shelves. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas. I'm going to go enjoy breakfast with my family as I think they're waking up right now. So it's about 8:30. This video didn't ramble on too long, about 16 minutes. So as always, peace and hair grease. Subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up if you liked it. Subs if you loved it. Support me on Patreon if you can. If you don't want to do a commitment, you can do Ko-Fi. There's a link in the notes or on the screen there. You can click on that and you can support me on Ko-Fi, which is a one-time donation, which is great. So other than that, as always, peace and hair grease. And remember, Mr. Mean says be nice.